So, lesson 1 is netiquette. So, what is netiquette? Simple stated, it's network etiquette that the etiquette of cyberspace, and etiquette means the form of required by good breeding or prescribed by authority to be required in social of official life. On the other word, netiquette is a set of rules for behaving property online. So, netiquette or network ethic is concerned with the proper way to communicate in an online environment. So, when you use email, instant messenger, video call, or discussion board to communicate with other person, please be sure to follow the rules of professional online communication known as netiquette. So remember the golden rule. So even though you may be interacting with a computer screen, laptop, cell phone, telephone, or etc., you are communicating with real person who will react to your message. So make a good impression. Treat other the same respect that you would like to receive, and avoid confrontational or offensive language. So Rugina means that treat other with the same respect that you would like to receive is if gusto mong manami ro pakikipagtungo kay mo't ibang tabo, make sure nga manami man imo pakikipagtungo kanda para quits ba. So next, avoid slang, acronyms, and text talk. So communicating effectively in college and business environment requires the use of correct terminology, spelling, and grammar that can easily to understood. So for example, use your instead of you. So next, avoid screaming in type of messages. So typing entire message using all capital letter is known as screaming. So it is distracting, generally frowned upon in the business environment. So next, proofread your message before sending them. So proofreading your message before send them is the best practice for effective and efficient communication. So make sure nga correct in spelling and grammar. Next, make sure din na your word is not confusing terms or phrase that could be misunderstood. So error or omission such as missing content or recipients. So next, error in accuracy of information. So next, exercise the good judgment when you're sharing information with others online. So email and chat message that you send or receive are considered private and should be not forwarded or copied to others without gaining the consent of all involved participants. So to protect your privacy and safety, do not share online sensitive personal information such as home, address, or phone number, personal conversation, social plans such as vacation, financial information, and username, password, and hints, and anything personal that you would not want shared by others over the internet. And lastly, respect diversity and viewpoint. So, be constructive and respectful when sharing opinions, beliefs, and criticism or responding to those of others in the conversation.
Good day everyone, my name is Mitch P. Palama and today we will tackle the 10 commandments of computer ethics. Now we will discuss the rule number 1. Remember the human. So this rule means that never mail or post anything you wouldn't say to your reader's face. Always keep in mind the fact that although you are looking at the keyboard and a computer screen, there are real people with real feelings reading your words. So be aware that the written words has different effects on the recipient than a spoken word. Next is the rule number 2. Adhere to the same standards of behavior online that you follow in real life. So this rule means that don't act any different online than what you would act like face to face with someone. Next is the rule number 3. Know where you are in cyberspace. Netiquette varies from domain to domain. Ishaya, 1994. So, what you text to a friend may not be appropriate in an email to a classmate or colleague. Next is the rule number 4. Respect others' people time and bandwidth. So, it is your responsibility to ensure that the time they spend reading your posting isn't wasted. Next is the rule number 5. Make yourself look good online. So it is always advisable not to share anything embarrassing, illegal, or inappropriate. So people you have not even met may look you up online. So make sure you set a good impression. Always ensure that what you write and share is understandable and grammatically correct. Next is the rule number 6. Share expert knowledge. The internet offers its users many benefits. One is the ease in which information can be shared or accessed, and in fact, this information sharing capability is one of the reasons the internet was founded. So, and even a few of them offer intelligent answers. The sum total of world knowledge increases. The internet itself was founded and grew because scientists wanted to share information. Gradually, the rest of us got in on the act. So, do your part.
Good day everyone, my name is Jomar Sancho. For rule number 7, help keep flame was under control. What means by flaming and flame wars? Flaming is what people do when they express strongly held opinion without holding back any emotion. See on 1994 as an example. Think of the kinds of passionate comments you might read at sports blog. While flaming is not necessarily forbidden in the virtual communication. Flame wars, when 2-3 people exchange angry posts between one another. Most of control of the camaraderie of the group could be compromised. Don't feed the flames. Extinguish them to guiding the discussion back to the more productive direction. Rule number 8. Respect other people's privacy depending on what you are reading in the virtual world, be it an online class discussion forum, Facebook page, or email. You may be exposed to some private or personal information that needs to be handled with care. Perhaps someone is sharing some medical news about a loved one and discussion to situation work. What do you think would happen if this information got into the wrong hands? Embarrassments, hurt feeling, loss of job, just as you'd expect others to respect your privacy. So should you respect the privacy of others? Be sure to err on the side of caution when deciding to discuss or not to discuss virtual communication. Rule number 9. Don't abuse your power, just like in face-to-face situation. There are people in the cyberspace who have more power than others. They have more expertise than technologies, or they have years and experience in the particular skills or subject matter. Maybe it's you who possesses or less this knowledge and power. Just remember, knowing more than others, or having more power than others, may have does not give you the right to take advantage of anyone. Think of rule number 1. Remember the human. Rule number 10. Be forgiving on other people's mistakes. Not everyone has the same amount of experience working in the virtual world, and not everyone knows the truth of netiquette. At some point, you will be see a stupid question with unnecessarily long response or encounter misspelled words. When this happens, practice kindness and forgiveness as you would hope someone would do if you had committed that same offense. If it's minor offense, you might want to let it slide if you feel compelled to respond to mistakes. Do so if a private email rather than a public forum.
Good day everyone, I am Maricel T. Ortega from BSHM 1B. So today I will discuss the lesson 2, which is cybercrimes. So what is cyber? It is the characteristics of the culture of computers, information, technology, and virtual reality. Here are the types of cyber. First is the cybercrime. Is defined as a crime in which a computer is the object of the crime, like hacking, phishing, spamming, and child pornography, is used as a tool to commit an offense. And the cybercriminals. Cybercriminals are individuals or groups who engage in illegal activities using computer systems and the internet. Example, cyberbullying, identity theft, cyberterrorism, and more. Here are the Republic Act for Cybercrimes. Republic Act number 10175, Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012 is a law in the Philippines approved on September 12, 2012, which aims to address legal issues concerning online interactions and internet. Republic Act number 10173, Data Privacy Act of 2012 is an act protecting individual personal information. Common forms of cybercrimes. First, copyright is a legal term used to describe the rights that creators have over their literary and artistic works. For example, audiovisual works such as TV shows, movies, and online videos. Second, plagiarism means using someone else's words or ideas without properly crediting the original author. Some common examples of plagiarism include paraphrasing a source too closely, including a direct quote without quotation marks. Third, computer addiction is a persistent, excessive, and compulsive use of a computer despite significant negative impacts on personal, social, or occupational functioning. Criminal activities. First, hacking is an attempt to exploit a computer system or a public network inside a computer. Second, computer-related forgery, fraud, and/or identity theft, an attempt to obtain sensitive information such as usernames, passwords, and credit card details, and often for malicious reasons. Third, electronic theft, obtaining files that you do not have the right to use from the internet. Fourth, cyberbullying is when someone, typically a teenager, bullies or harasses others on the internet and other digital spaces, particularly on social media sites. Cybersex is any type of sexual activity that occurs virtually between two or more individuals, including sexting, sharing sexual images or videos with a partner, webcam sex, and chatroom sex. 6. Child pornography is a form of child sexual exploitation. And last, cyber defamation is an unprivileged false statement of fact which tends to harm the reputation of a person or company.
Oh, good morning, guys. Let me tackle to you the lesson 3, which is the internet threats. First one is hacking. So, hacking is a term used to describe actions taken by someone to gain unauthorized access to a computer. This is also the process by which cybercriminals gain access to your computers. Let's move on to what it can do. First, these find weaknesses or pre-existing bugs in your security settings and exploit them in order to access your information. Install a Trojan horse, providing a backdoor for hackers to enter and search for your information. To those who don't know a Trojan horse, this is a program downloaded and installed on a computer that appears harmless. Number 2 of internet threats is malware or malicious software. This is one of the more common ways to infiltrate or damage your computer. The things that it can do is intimidate you with scareware, which is usually a pop-up message that tells you or your computer has a security problem or other false information. Next is alter or delete files. Next one is format the hard drive or your computer, causing you to lose or your information. Steal sensitive information. Send emails on your behalf. Take control of your computer and all the software running on it. Next one of the computer threats is farming is a common type of online fraud. This also points you to a malicious and illegitimate website by redirecting the legitimate URL. The things that farming can do is to convince you that the site is real and legitimate by spoofing or looking almost identical to your actual site down to the smallest details. You may enter your personal information and unknowingly give it to someone with malicious intent. Next is phishing. This is also known as spoofing, used most often by cybercriminals because it's easy to execute, can produce the result they're looking for with very little efforts. Fake emails, text messages, and websites created to look like they're from companies. They're sent by criminals to steal personal and financial from you. What it does, phishing trick you into giving them information by asking you to update, validate, or confirm your account. It is also often presented in a manner that seems official, intimidating to encourage you to take action. It is also provides cyber criminals with your username and passwords so that they can access your accounts, your online bank accounts. Yeah, this includes your online bank accounts, shopping accounts, and so on, and steal your credit card number. Next one is ransomware. This is a type of malware that restricts access to your computer or your files and displays a message that demands payment in order for the restriction to be removed. Ransomware has two common types, which is lock screen ransomware and encryption ransomware. So lock screen ransomware is a display an image that prevents you from accessing your computer, while encryption ransomware, this encrypts file on your system hard drive and sometimes on shared network drives. USB drives, external hard drives, and even some cloud storage drives, preventing you from opening them. Ransomware will display a notification stating that your computer or data have been locked and demanding a payment be made for you to regain access, something the notification states that authorizes have detected illegal activity on your computer and that the payment is a fine to avoid prosecution. Things that ransomware can do is they do not pay the ransom. So these threats are meant to scare and intimidate you, and they do not come from a law enforcement agency. Even if you submit payment, there is no guarantee that you will regain access to your system. Next is if your computer has been infected, contact a reputable computer technician or specialist to find out whether your computer can be repaired and your data retrieved. In order to lessen the impact of a ransomware infection, be sure to regularly back up your data with a removable external storage drive. It's possible that your files might be irretrievable. Having an up-to-date backup could be invaluable.
Spam. Spam is one of the more common methods of both sending information out and collecting it from unsuspecting people. The mass distribution of unsolicited messages, advertising, or pornography to addresses which can be easily found on the internet through things like social networking sites, company websites, and personal blogs. First, it can annoy you with unwanted junk mail. Second, it can create a burden for communication service providers and businesses to filter electronic messages. Third, it can fish your information by tricking you into following links or entering details with too good to be true offers and promotions. And lastly, it can provide a vehicle for malware, scams, fraud, and threats to your privacy. What is spyware? It is a software that collects personal information about you without you knowing. They often come in the form of a free download and are installed automatically with or without your consent. These are difficult to remove and can infect your computer with viruses. So what can spyware do? It can collect information about you without you knowing about it and give it to third parties. It can send you usernames, passwords, surfing habits, list of applications you've downloaded, settings, and even the version of your operating system to third parties. It can change the way your computer runs without your knowledge. And lastly, it can take you to unwanted sites or inundate you with uncontrollable pop-ups. You may not be familiar with the term Trojan horse, but maybe you are affected by it. So what is Trojan horses? It is a malicious program that is disguised as or embedded within legitimate software. It is an executable file that will install itself and run automatically once it's downloaded. So what can Trojan horses do? It can delete your files, use your computer to hack other computers, watch you through your webcam, log your keystrokes, such as a credit card number you entered in an online purchase. And lastly, it can record your usernames, password, and other personal information. What is viruses? It is malicious computer programs that are often sent as an email document or a download with the intent of infecting your computer as well as the computers of everyone in your contact list. Just visiting as a site can start an automatic download of a virus. So what can viruses do? It can send spam, provide criminals with access to your computer and contact list, scan and find personal information like passwords on your computer, can hijack your web browser, it can disable your security settings, can display unwanted ads, and when a program is running, the virus attached to it could infiltrate your hard drive and also spread to USB keys and external hard drives. Any attachment you create using this program and send to someone else could also infect them with the virus. So how will you know if your computer is infected? Here are the few things to check for. It can take longer than usual for your computer to start up. It restarts on its own or doesn't start up at all. It takes a long time to launch a program. Files and data disappeared. Your systems and programs crash constantly. The homepage you set on your web browser is different. Web pages are slow to load. Your computer screens look distorted. Programs are running without your control. If you suspect a problem, make sure your security software is up to date and run it to check for infection. If nothing is found, or if you are unsure of what to do, seek technical help. Wi-Fi eavesdropping. It is another used by cyber criminals to capture personal information. Virtual listening in on information that's shared over an unsecured or not encrypted Wi-Fi network. What Wi-Fi eavesdropping can do? It can potentially access your computer with the right equipment and steal your personal information, including logins and passwords. Worms. A worms, unlike a virus, goes to work on its own without attaching itself to files or programs. It lives in your computer memory and doesn't damage or alter the hard drive and propagates by sending itself to other computers in a network. So what can worms do? It can spread to everyone in your contact list and cause a tremendous amount of damage by shutting down parts of the internet and havoc on the internal network and costing companies enormous amounts of lost